under integration, what is integration? Integration is defined as antiderivative. Okay. Or it is also called the inverse process of differentiation. Antiderivative, or it is the inverse process of differentiation. Now, what do you mean by inverse process of differentiation? For example, if I differentiate, say, let us say I differentiate x cube. What do I get? I get 3x square, isn't it? So
Yes, sir.
the inverse process of this will be that if I integrate 3x square with respect to x dx, I must get x cube. That is, if I integrate this, I must get this. So here 3x square, which we are integrating, which we are applying the integration on, is called the integral, integrand. This is called the integrand. Okay. Now, after integration, on applying integration on the integrand, on applying integration on the integrand, we get what is called as the integral. Okay, integral. So here above, which one is the integral? X cube is the integral of the integrand three x square. Okay, so it is just the inverse process of differentiation. Okay, if you're differentiating, you're getting another function. So whatever function that you get, if you integrate, you'll get the function that you are differentiating. Clear with this? Integral and integrand. Next is constant of integration. Now see here, I have applied differentiation here. Ddx of x cube is equal to 3x square. Now what if I had a function like this? Ddx of, if I want to differentiate x cube plus k, or let's say c, x cube plus c, then what should be my answer? My answer would have been 3x square, isn't it? Because the differentiation of constant is 0. So even if I add a constant, the derivative does not change. So therefore, if I integrate 3x square with respect to x, I must get x cube plus c, right? So this constant here is extra. See here, the constant here I have not written in this step. So that means with every integration, you must add a constant of integration. Okay, if the constant is maybe 0 also, here in fact the constant here may be 0. I don't know. It is 0 here. Okay, so you can add a constant of integration here. Okay. So what the point that I was saying was that whenever you are integrating, you put a constant of integration here. Okay. So when at last you can only put a constant of integration, no problem. Okay. You can put a constant of integration at the last. Now these are some fundamental formula that you want to remember. Integral x to the power of n. I have not sent you. I will send you this very soon. Integral x to the power of n is equal to x to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus c. Integral 1 by x dx is equal to log x. And see here, see this deduction here. So what is happening here? See, when I am integrating ax plus b to the power of n dx, now what I will consider is, I will consider this entire thing as x, okay, and integrate it. What is the formula for this? It is ax plus b to the power of n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Not only that, but because I have ax plus b, a linear polynomial, what I will do is, what is the derivative of this linear polynomial? If you differentiate ax plus b, how much will you get? You will get a, right? So I will divide this by a also. Okay. So this is ax plus b to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1 into a. I think I have forgotten to write n plus 1 here. Okay. You can write n plus 1 here plus c. Clear? Similarly, if I'm integrating dx by x, the formula is log x, right? But instead of x, suppose if I have dx by ax plus b, a linear polynomial, then how will I integrate this? I will integrate in the normal manner. That is, I will treat, here I have x, I will treat this entire thing as x. So I will write log ax plus b. But the only difference is, after writing log ax plus b, I will divide it by the derivative of ax plus b. What is the derivative of ax plus b? A plus c. Clear with this?
Yes, sir.
This will work for everything. Just if you remember your chain rules, we were multiplying there, here we are dividing. Okay. Okay. The next formula here is integral e to the power of x is equal to e to the power of x. This is very easy to remember. Integral e to the power of x will remain the same, e to the power of x plus c. But when you are having e to the power, tell me.
That constant to be added in every case.
Yes, at the end, just at the end, after performing the entire integration, at the end you will add a constant of integration. And
Okay, sir.
there have been instances where the marks have been deducted for not adding the constant of integration also. So please add the constant of integration at the last. Okay. So now see here, e to the power of ax plus b. If I want to integrate this, I will use this integral e to the power of x. I will write as it is, the way it is. So I will write here e to the power of ax plus b. Okay. But not only that, I will also have to divide this by derivative of ax plus b, which is simply a plus c. Okay. And now remember, this rule works only for linear polynomials. Okay. The power of x is 1. Okay. Similarly, you have e to the power of x, integral a to the power of x dx. The formula here is e to the power of x by ln a, natural log of a plus c. Okay. Now, if I want to integrate e to the power of mx plus n, where m and n are constants, then what do I have to do? I will integrate in the normal manner. I will write this as e to the power of mx plus n divided by ln a. But because my power is, instead of x, it is a linear polynomial, I will have to divide by the derivative of mx plus n. What is the derivative of mx plus n? It is m. So I will have to divide by m plus c. So your answer here is e to the power of mx plus n divided by m ln a plus c. Remember this. This is a very important rule. For all the formulas, this will work. Similarly, sin x. Integral sin x, if you see, the formula here is minus cos x, right? If I want to integrate sin ax plus b, instead of x, if you have ax plus b, a linear polynomial, then we'll proceed in the exactly in the usual manner. We'll write minus cos and we'll treat ax plus b as if it is x. So minus cos ax plus b divided by the derivative of ax plus b, which is a plus c. Okay, this works for sin x, sec square x, cosec square x. Okay, so integration of sin x is minus cos x, integration of cos is sin, integration of sec square is tan x, because you know the derivative of tan x is sec square. That's why integral of sec square is tan x. Integral of cosec square x is minus cot x. Integral sec x tan x is sec x. because you know derivative of sec x tan x is derivative of sec x is sec x tan x. Integral cosec x cot x is minus cosec x. So if you have to integrate, suppose integral, if I give you this cosec 5x plus 3 dx, how will you integrate this? Use this formula. You write this as minus cosec, sorry, this is not minus cosec. If I give you this question, minus cosec 5x plus 3 into cot 5x plus 3 dx. So how will you integrate this? See, the linear function, linear polynomial here is 5x plus 3. So I will integrate in the usual manner. Yes, tell me.
Minus
5x plus 3, because the integration of minus cosec cot is minus cosec. So you write minus cosec as it is. But since you have a linear polynomial inside cosec, you will also have to divide by the derivative of 5x plus 3. And what is the derivative of 5x plus 3? 5 plus c.
5.
So is the rule absolutely okay?
Yes.
Devanjan?
Yes, sir.
These are fundamentals, okay? Later on, problems, as much as you practice, you will be able to do. But these you have to be very clear with the fundamentals. Next is properties of integration. First is if u and v are integrable functions of x. Integrable, what it mean? We'll not bothered, but just know that if u and v can be integrated, okay, then integration of u plus v dx, you can separate the integrals. You can write this as integral u dx plus integral v dx. Okay, and very important rule once again, the second fundamental property is that integration of a constant into a function of x. In this, what you can do is you can take the constant out of the integration, write this as k integral u dx. Okay, so these two are the very fundamental properties which we shall be using. Okay, so once we know these fundamental properties, we now move on to the problems. Look at the first one. 1 1. Okay, it is always a good practice to assume I as the integral. So integral given here is x plus 1 into 2x plus 3. How do you integrate this? You multiply these two, okay, to get 2x square plus 5x plus 3, right? Now once you multiply these two, now you separate. So you have integral 2x squared dx plus integral 5x dx plus integral 3 dx, right? So now see, 2x squared, 2 is a constant. So from the fundamental rule, you can take 2 out of the integration, write it as 2 integral x squared dx plus 5 is a constant. You can take it out of the integration, write it as 5 integral x dx. Also 3 is a constant. You can take it out and write it as integral dx. Okay. So now what will happen? This is x to the power of 2, x to the power of n formula, right? What is x to the power of n formula? X to the power of 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1, right? Plus 5. From the formula, x to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1, x to the power of 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1, plus 3 integral dx. See, integral and dx, these will nullify each other, so you'll simply get x, because integration and differentiation are inverse process of each other, right? So when I'm taking integration and if I have a differential here, that means these two are going to nullify each other. So I'm simply going to be left with this x. Okay, so remember, integral dx is always x. Clear? So this is 2 into x to the power of 4 by 4 plus 5 into x square by 2 plus 3x. And you add a constant of integration plus c. You cancel this, you get x to the power of 4 by 2 plus 5x square by 2 plus 3x plus a constant of integration. Okay, where I'm writing this because this is the first sum. This is the constant of integration. Clear with this integration? First sum.
Yes, sir.
Let us move on to the next sum. Number 2. I is equal to integral x root x plus a dx. Okay. Tanisha, how to do this? You have done integration. Okay. Let's do this. You have now see under radical you have x plus a, right? So what you and here you have simply x. So what you do is you try to write this in terms of whatever you have under the radical. So what you do is you write x as x plus a minus a. Right? And you write root x plus a as it is. Is it clear? Why we are writing x plus a instead of x, we are writing x plus a minus a. Now you separate. That is, now you can write this as x plus a root x plus a. That is, you are multiplying this with this minus a, and now you multiply this with this root x plus a. All this dx. Now you separate, you get integral x plus a root x plus a dx minus integral a root x plus a dx. So this is integral x plus a into a root x plus a is what? X plus a to the power of half, isn't it? Minus, you can take this a out of the integration. And you can write root x plus a as x plus a to the power of half. So this is integral x plus a to the power of half is, you can add the powers here. So this becomes x plus a to the power of 3 by 2 dx minus a integral x plus a to the power of half. Now how do we integrate this? Use x to the power of n formula. X to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1 divided by the derivative of x plus a. Derivative of x plus a is simply 1. So you're dividing by 1. So that is okay. Minus a times x plus a to the power of half plus 1 by half plus 1. Right? So now you take the LCM here. You get in the denominator, you will get 5 by 2. So the inverse of 5 by 2 will be 2 by 5. X plus a to the power of 5 by 2 minus, and here in the denominator, if you take the LCM, you get 3 by 2. So you get 2/3 a x plus a to the power of 3 by 2. Okay, plus a constant. Clear with this? Moving on to the next problem. Number 3. I is equal to integral 8x plus 13 divided by square root of 4x plus 7 dx. Okay, now if you want to integrate such a function, what you want to do is you want to express the numerator in terms of the denominator. What do you see here in the denominator? What do you have? You have 4x plus 7. And what do you have here? You have 8x. So you want to make this 8 into a 4 because we want to express this as 4x plus 7. So what do? I take integral of, I can write this as half of 8x plus 13 by 8x plus 26, right? 13 into 2, right? Divided by root over of 4x plus 7 dx. Okay, now what can I do? I can take this half out of the integration. Half integral 8x plus 26 divided by square root of, so not 8x, this is 4x. This is 4x. Okay, divided by 4x plus 7 dx. Now this is half, and denominator you see 4x plus 7, but here only I have 4x. Here I have 26, right? This one. So what I do is I write this as 4x plus 7. What is left here? What should be added? 19, right? To make it 26. And by root 4x plus 7. And you keep this within brackets. Dx. Which is equal to half integral 4x plus 7 divided by, you separate now, 4x plus 7 plus 19 divided by root 4x plus 7 dx. So now what does this become? Half integration. Now what you can do, root 4x plus 7 you can write this as 4x plus 7 you can write this as root 4x plus 7 into root 4x plus 7 divided by root 4x plus 7 plus 19 divided by root 4x plus 7 dx. So this and this cancels. So simply get here half integral square root 4x plus 7 plus 19 divided by square root 4x plus 7 dx. Now we can separate the integral. Can write this as half integral root 4x plus 7 dx plus half integral 19 by square root 4x plus 7 dx. So you can now write this as half integral 4x root 4x plus 7 can be written as 4x plus 7 to the power of half dx plus 19 you can take out of the integration. So you'll get 19 into half as 19 by 2 integral, and after taking out 19 you are left with 1 by root 4x plus 7, which you can write this as 4x plus 7 to the power of minus half dx, right? So this is half. Now how do you integrate this? X to the power of n rule. X to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1. Not only that, but you also have to divide by the derivative of 4x plus 7. What is the derivative of 4x plus 7? 1 by, it is 4. So you divide by 4 plus 19 by 2. And here the integration is 4x plus 7 to the power of minus half plus 1 by minus half plus 1. plus c, which is equal to, now you simplify this in the denominator here. If you take the LCM, you get 3 by 2. So this becomes 2/3 into half into 1/4. 4x plus 7 to the power of 3 by 2 plus here, if you take the LCM here, 1 minus half is half, and if you 1 by half is 2, so into 2 into 4x plus 7 to the power of 1 minus half, which is simply half, plus c. So now things are going to cancel here. So you get 1/6 4x plus 7 to the power of 3 by 2 plus here 2 will cancel. So you get 19 4x plus 7 to the power of half plus c. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
We now move on to the next problem. The last problem, I think, for the day. Number 4. I is equal to integral dx divided by root 2x plus 3 minus root 2x minus 1. Now you see that you have irrational number in the denominator, you rationalize the denominator. So you rationalize, you multiply the numerator and denominator by 2x plus 3 plus root 2x minus 1 divided by root 2x plus 3 plus root 2x minus 1 into root 2x plus 3 minus root 2x minus 1 dx. So what do you get here? Integral root 2x plus 3 plus root 2x minus 1, and here in the denominator you get a square minus b square form, the 2x plus 3 whole square minus root 2x minus 1 whole square dx. Okay, so you get integration root 2x plus 3 plus root 2x minus 1 divided by 2x plus 3 minus 2x minus 1 dx. So this you get integration root 2x plus 3 plus root 2x minus 1 divided by, if you open the brackets now, 2x plus 3 minus 2x plus 1. So plus 2x and minus 2x are going to cancel. So you get here integral root 2x plus 3 plus root 2x minus 1 divided by 4. So now if you see, this is in the denominator you have 4. So you can take 1 by 4 out of the integration. So only write this as root over of 2x plus 3 plus root 2x minus 1. You can write this way dx, and here also you have dx. So now what you have? Separate integral root 2x plus 3 dx plus root 2x minus 1 dx. Okay, so this is 1/4 of 2x. This is integral 2x root 2x plus 3. So you can write this as 2x plus 3 to the power of half dx plus integral root 2x minus 1 to the power of half dx. So this becomes 1/4. Now you can integrate 2x plus 3 to the power of half plus 1 divided by half plus 1 plus here you have 2x minus 1 divided by half to the power of half plus 1 divided by half plus 1 plus a constant. And now you just simplify this to get your answer. So this is 1/4 of, this is in the denominator, you'll get 3 by 2, so you get 2/3. 2x plus 3 to the power of 3 by 2 plus again 2/3 2x minus 1 to the power of 3 by 2 plus c. Now you can take 2/3 out also. So 1/4 into 2/3 into 2x plus 3 to the power of 3 by 2 plus 2x minus 1 to the power of 3 by 2 plus c. So now finally you have 1 by 6 into 2x plus 3 to the power of 3 by 2 plus 2x minus 1 to the power of 3 by 2 plus c. And that's your answer. Okay. So I will stop here. I will not proceed any further. I will stop here. Next class, I will continue with integration. Okay.